Hi, this is Abby Bogdan with Education 458, and this is a PowerPoint presentation on gifted students geared towards strategies for parents and teachers of gifted students. And the materials gathered were from the class text, the course text called Teaching Gifted Kids in Today's Classroom, Strategies and Techniques Every Teacher Can Use by Susan Winebrenner, and then other materials from the course module. So gifted students may be defined as those who have the ability that exceeds grade or age level expectations by 2 or more years. And characteristics might include learns new material faster at an earlier age than age peers, remembers what has been learned forever, making review unnecessary, is able to deal with concepts that are too complex and abstract for age peers, has a passionate interest in one or more topics, and will spend all available time learning about that topic if she or she could, does not need to watch the teacher to hear what is being said. They can operate on multiple brain channels simultaneously and process more than one task at a time. So these are some pretty heavy duty characteristics. And this is a broad spectrum of gifted children, the successful, the challenging, the underground, the dropouts, double-abled, the autonomous learner. And then this is more of the 3 types of typical gifted students, and those consist of the twice exceptional student, or those who are identified gifted yet also diagnosed with a disability. And that includes those students that are gifted in one area, but then they are also labeled or diagnosed on like the Asperger spectrum, or they might have ADHD. Then there's the underachiever and boredom that result. Those are the ones that experience boredom that results from discrepancies between the child's knowledge and the school's offering, leads to underachievement and behavior disorders affecting self and others. So those are the ones that act out from boredom. And then there's a selective consumer, and that's the one, or those are the ones that adapt at taking the best from what school and teachers have to offer and leaving the rest behind. So they can adapt. They might be the underachiever, but they can adapt and they can take whatever they need, whatever works for them. And it's important to know our students, know our gifted students. So throughout the course material, we have from Gilbreth, from Del Gilbreth, sorry for the pronunciation, we have 8 gripes of gifted students, and most of them consist of social, peer-related gripes. Their first one says, no one explains what being gifted is all about. It's kept a big secret. A lot of times, the GATE students are asked to not show off or not really go into what it means, what they do. So they're kind of kept separate from the other students. So the GATE students don't really know what it means to be gifted. They don't really understand. School is too easy and too boring. Parents and teachers and friends expect us to be perfect all the time, and no matter what setting, whether it's academic or social, they're expected to be perfect all the time. And then rarely can they find friends that understand them. And kids often tease them about being smart. They feel overwhelmed by the number of things they can do in life because there's such a spectrum of giftedness. They feel different and alienated because they are rare in their gift and how they process and how their brain works. They worry about world problems and feel helpless to do anything about them. So knowing these things, we can, as teachers and as parents, we can better help them and understand them. So the next few slides will deal with those strategies. So strategies for parents include offering your child downtime, making sure that your child has plenty of downtime. So not going from one activity to the other and bombarding them with all kinds of things, from sports to academic type activities, but giving them some downtime where they can just be kids. And then social skills, do whatever you can to help your child find suitable friends, because as we talked about, the gripes of students with giftedness, they have a hard time relating to their peers and relating in social settings. And then we have a list of ways that we can help our children avoid the perfectionism trap. So reinforce the fact that your child is separate from her accomplishments. Coerce her to avoid statements such as, I'm so stupid. Avoid the phrase, always do your best, but replace it with, be sure to always put forth your best effort. And this shifts the emphasis from the product to the learning process. Let your child do things for themselves. Teach them and give them constructive criticism and teach them to receive it gracefully. Don't worry if your child doesn't read out loud fluently. Sometimes it's common for gifted children to have their eyes read ahead on what they're going to say and what comes out of their mouth while they're reading. Replace praise with encouragement and encourage risk-taking behavior. Ask your child to describe their own pride in his or her own accomplishments. And really important, teach your child how to ask for help without embarrassment when she needs it. A lot of times children feel that they cannot ask for help because they're expected to be perfect in different situations. So that's a very important one. And strategies for teachers. Essential conditions needed for gifted students. It's important before anything else. It's essential to compact already mastered content by pre-assessing knowledge and differentiating instruction. That's supposed to be for students can work on higher level activities. So we need to do that. And then 2 essential conditions must be in place for gifted students to feel safe enough to choose challenging tasks. 1, they need to know that the assessments will not lead to lower recorded grades, that they can take risks in learning and being challenged. 2, students must know that they are not expected to do more work than classmates, just different work. And that's important for them to understand. And then best types of groups for gifted students are those that are homogeneous, cooperative learning groups, or those that are composed of students that are gifted so that they can learn from one another. They can feel like they're not doing all the work, where if they're placed in a group with lower level students, they'd feel like they have to be in charge and take over and basically do all the work. So if they're placed in a homogeneous cooperative group, they can be challenged by those around them that are kind of at the same level. And then gifted cluster groups and otherwise mixed ability classes. What that means is instead of mixed with a range or a spectrum of students, lower level to higher level students, they would be placed in a group of, in a class where there are higher level students or those that are more gifted, so that the teacher can focus on those needs and they won't feel like they are left out, or the focus has been so much on focusing on those students that are lower level, that are underachievers, that need more of the differentiating and the scaffolding. So again, it's important to start with compacting already mastered content by pre-assessing knowledge and differentiating instruction. So that, again, going back to that might look like taking what students already know and going from that and challenging them to move forward. So I hope that as parents and teachers, we can find some strategies that might work and that might help us better help our students. Thank you.